executives support their EAs?
That's actually a very, very good point. It's a very good question to ask because very many times we are thrown in the deep end and you don't have a support structure. No one comes out to bail you out if anything happens. I am so lucky that the executive that I worked with at the time was very supportive. There was a time I even sent an email to top executives with a wrong date, inviting them for a meeting. She called me at 9 p.m. in the night and told me, fix it. And there was no work from home at the time. I had to move from home. Got a boda. Back 9 p.m. 9 p.m. I called the guy who opens the office and said, please help me.
And relationships are really key.
Yes. Please help me and come in. He drove his motorcycle and came to the office, opened for me. He found me sitting there. I was wailing, I'm telling you.
And you see the simple things that frustrate us a day, a typo, a booking.
But they go far.
Exactly.
They go far.
These executives are going to block.
Yes.
They are going to schedule. Then you are saying, sorry.
Yes, sorry.
So you apologize in ashes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you fixed
wailed, but then he opened the door for me. I entered and I recalled the email, but you couldn't recall the email. I just sent another one and said, this one supersedes the other one. Please.
Is it the same day?
Yes, that's
the same day.
She called me at 9 p.m. I think somebody saw the email. Because I sent it at 6 p.m. before I left office. And then somebody saw the email at 9, called her, and she called me. She was not very amused.
So I was like, Juliet? Yeah. And I think we need to have that culture of fixing our mistakes.
Yes.
Really,
So I think it is, to err is human. Even the CEOs themselves, they err. They do. We may not find out the mistakes they made. Or we may and have to fix them. But it's normal. Executives need to support their assistants in very many ways. Even when you're when an assistant, for example, has worked for like 3 years. When I was about 4 years in, I went to my executive's office and I bargained for salary. I wanted a pay raise. I went with a list of everything that I do on a daily basis and what my job description says. There was a big discrepancy between my job description.
That's a big problem.
Yes, there was. So when I walked into her office, I told her, this is what my job description says, and this is what I do on a daily basis. I need a pay raise. Because...
Did you specify how much you wanted?
Yes. I told her a percentage.
A percentage. I was listening to... No.
I know how to go and say, guys, 5 million.
This is it. I was listening to Arese, the lady of Smart Money Tribe, Smart Money Woman, and the guest she had said, you bargained for a figure higher.
Yes.
So that in case it's toned down.
You still
and I thought, and then she said it's a 50-50.
Yes.
It could be yes, could be no, it could be in the budget, could be for later.
Yes.
But
you tried.
Try.
Yes.
And I thought, okay.
But you tried. So I went in there and told her, this is what I do on a daily basis. This is what my job description says. Clearly, I'm doing way more than what you employed me to do. So I am kindly requesting that my salary be, but my salary reflect what I do on a daily basis. And if it is not too much to ask, 30% is fine. 30% is very okay by me.
That was very moderate.
And she did not even flinch. She said, yes, absolutely. I was just waiting. I should have said 100.
Yeah, double it.
Like double it. Because, man. Amen. That would have been the
just maybe.
Yeah. She didn't flinch. She told me, I know what you do on a daily basis, and I understand how hard it is sometimes.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for you
and the wailing
to come
at
out.
9 p.m.
Yes. And there were so many of those nights.
Yeah, I know.
So many of those nights of their outside the country, and then they call you because someone's accommodation somehow got cancelled midway, or someone...
Or they call you to get them a cab in the middle of the night, take them somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or someone suddenly changed their mind and they did not want the ticket that you booked for them anymore. And they want, a change of ticket.
Yeah.
And
or
you have to wake up. Or
midway.
Yes, midway the air, and mid-air they want more leg room.
Magic.
Exactly. But we are magicians.
We are magicians. Miracle
worker, honestly. So she told me, I understand and I know this, what you do on a daily. I see it. Because there are sometimes that I have cooled fires that she didn't even know existed. You get. there was a scenario, for example, she gifted us breakfast one time as a department, and it was really nice and, glossy. But then I realized the fruits that she had bought, the fruits that she brought, I think during packaging or transit or something, they smashed. Yeah. So what I did, I called my chapter. I said, go to the market right now.
Apples. And
buy me apples. Buy me grapes. Buy me avocado. Buy me this. They brought them. I prepared them the same exact way that they had done where she bought them from. And then I presented them to the team. No one knew that. Only my best friend knew.
And you see, I like that where, I mean, you're covering for your boss.
They have to look good at whatever cost.
And that's why you have to be there earlier.
Yes.
You have to anticipate the crisis just in case.
So later you whispered,
I did not tell her.
You did not.
Until now, she doesn't know.
Wow.
She actually doesn't
Saving
know.
her that
yes.
stress.
But the lady, the kitchen lady that had seen the fruits, told me, you are the best assistant that I have ever met.
Wow.
Because you could have taken it out on her.
Take it like that. Yes. And then everybody
called her to
sees.
stress her. Like, the fruits you brought?
Yes. I like this, like this, like this.
Yeah.
I did not do that. I instead got my money and bought
Fixed it.
And I fixed it. And nobody knew.
Wow.
And she shone. Everybody was happy. Everybody was excited.
And you were happy in the corner.
And I was in the corner. I pulled that fire down.
Yeah.
So those little incentives from the executives also go a long way.
They go a very, very long
They
way.
go a long way. And you seem to have a relationship with your boss.
Yes, a very good one. I call her my mother. She is my second mother. Because if it wasn't for her, I don't know if I would have developed this much, because she gave me the encouragement. She pushed me.
So that's one other thing I think they can do. Yeah.
They give you...
afraid to let you stand on their shoulders.
No, not at all. Yes. To climb up high. Yes.
I was having a conversation with a friend who said she's also grateful for her boss. She's not an EA, but her supervisor. So she was grateful for her boss because a friend in another department, I think finance, has a boss who will ask you to do something once. But while you are still grappling with all the previous work, you'll realize he has done it. He will not let you, he'll not give you room to figure. And he'll do all the tasks, all the assignments, and your work is to just write reports and whatnot. Why for her, they rotate. She works in public health. So sometimes they need to advise, mothers and whatnot, HIV, those things. So she'll say, this month, you're the one doing all the advisory work. I will be behind to whisper in case of anything, but you need to get the grip of how things work. And I thought, that is someone who is actually empowering you. And they're not afraid, they're not intimidated by you. So that's something that executives could do. Brenda, what would you say are some of the things your executive has supported you?
Yeah, there are very many. Sometimes I feel like I have the greatest boss in the world, but they're not different from Julie's. In meetings, again, as an EA, I don't know if Julie has experienced it or you Faith, there's so many attacks, especially when you're doing a good job. Sometimes there are those whispers, who does she think she is? Have you heard that?
Oh, yes, a lot.
Why is she the one leading that thing? So, but he stood firm and defended me in such places.
Nice.
He's advocated for more pay. I've never had to ask for a pay raise.
Nice.
But even those times when the organization has a very small percentage to work with, he's pushing, no, let Brenda, she does a lot of things. I see what she does. And most recently, they just approved for me an education fund to pursue my dreams. I want to be a better coach. So I'll be getting a certification in that, courtesy of the organization. So there are those things where your boss understands that they can never pay you enough for the value you bring, and then supporting you in any way. Sometimes it's a conversation. Sometimes it's making sure you're in the right rooms with the right people.
Yes. Or mentioning your name in rooms where you're not.
Where you're not there, yes.
And he will do that a lot. And for me, I can just thank God really and say, I wish every leader understood this, because what that gets me is I will give my sweat and blood.
Yes.
Like there's nothing he can ask of me that I, professionally, of course, like I would break walls to make sure we are achieving our goals.
That's really very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really, really amazing. Yeah, executives really, it's the support is
I
the
think
number
it's
one thing that I would really ask for.
Yeah, support really.
Support.
Yeah.
There is a time we had a board meeting, COVID and everything, so we needed social distancing and everything. So I set up the room so nicely that I was proud of myself.
You're like,
I knew I had done a good job.
with a room, you're like,
Yes.
yeah.
This room, this one. Any decisions that are coming out of here are going to be tick. So she came in. She was the first one to walk in. She's always the first one in the room. And she looked at it. She was like, amazing. You have done a beautiful job.
Yeah, recognizing your
Yes.
efforts.
She did not stop there. It was a full board meeting. Every board member was there. All like 12 of them. And she tells them, they all came in and they appreciated it. Oh my God, this is a nice setting. I wish every day we sit like this. Yes.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah, I have pictures.
Yes, we need to learn.
took
Please.
pictures.
We need
That
to
time.
wow our people.
yo.
Yeah. Send them.
She came in and she told everybody that this setup that you're loving so much is courtesy of Juliet. And the board chairman told them, the board members, to clap for me. You guys.
Did you stand up?
You guys. Jai!
You probably weren't holding things like in the middle.
Everything wanted to just fall.
It was you being elevated.
I was elevated. At that point, I knew that I have the greatest boss, honestly.
Actually, those things, they look small, but they're
so
profound.
important.
Like the times I've
Yes.
written a report, my boss has a way of saying, Brenda, this is exceptional. This is super excellent. So for me, each time those words come up, I'm like, wow. In the next report, I even want to top that.
No, exactly.
How does that get super excellent?
Exactly.
Like, wow. yeah.
It does. It really, really does.
Really works. So executives out there, we appreciate, it may not be monetary, but those personal relationship accolades, they go a long way, and it will make your work easier. Make your work.
Acknowledge that there are some bosses who will never tell you you've done a good job.
That was my boss. The one of the 50,000.
Yeah, when there's a mistake, they're raining.
But I made it. I made it.
The next
I made
one will
it.
be exceptional. Okay.
That's true. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Oh, well, so before we wind up, this is the last question. What are some of those hacks that you can tell upcoming EAs, or even those who've been in there and they've used up all their hacks and they're just looking for something new? I mean, it's now getting virtual. So there's work from home, work from office, and those things. Travel is a bit complicated. So what are some of those hacks that you can tell them? Yes.
Okay. This one is important. We talked a lot about relationships, but for me, relationships have been like the magic trick. I have like 10,000 assistants behind me.
Nice.
Yes, and I'm using that word very carefully. So my friends, my family. So if I meet you and you're good at something, we will have to become friends.
Very true.
Because our lives are a crisis.
Yeah.
The other day I went for a conference on a Monday, and on a Tuesday, I'm told we need gifts for everyone. I need to pull that off while attending the conference and doing it. So I just called someone, said, you know what, 1, 2, 3, the gifts arrived on time. So you need people who you can always call on short notice, and they just fix things up. So that's my one, relationships, like build them, make them. They are friends. Sometimes they even move into my workstation, even when they have their own work, and they say, Brenda, let me take on this one for you. So of course, sometimes like the spotlight is on you, but like there are 10,000 people, and really appreciate those people.
That is really important.
Yeah.
It's very important. Mine is also related to yours. Find other assistants that can be not necessarily a family or friends or, people out there running other businesses. But I have learned that having a bucket of assistants, say
in other
organizations, in other countries, is very important.
Yeah.
Every time I have to book accommodation I find is the hardest thing to deal with in travel management.
Internationally.
Yes, international, yes. Finding accommodation is really hard, and sometimes they're very timely. Sometimes you find on the website they're giving a different price, and the reviews are not very good.
Oh, it looks very beautiful. Then someone enters there like, where did you bring me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to find accommodation that suits your executive's profile and then also maintains the corporate image of the organization. So because you don't want your executive sleeping in some dingy place, in a different country, if somebody else sees them, what happens?
Or if they get attacked,
If they
there's
get
a lot
attacked,
of security
what
concerns
happens?
in some of these places.
Yes. If they get attacked, what happens? Exactly. So find assistants in other countries as well with whom you will coordinate. Today we have LinkedIn. It is very easy to connect with other assistants.
Actually, Juliet, I have a Facebook group I joined, State of the Executive Assistant, assistants across the world.
Yes.
So that's where I get some of the tips. Yeah, they just post, this is what I'm going through. You guys, I'm stuck. Anyone knows a place in this place? It's my best go-to group.
Yes. That is very, very important. If you know of any, I think we shall have to communicate the Facebook page so that then everyone out there, every executive assistant out there can sign up for it. Group. Because if you have to get anything outside the country, sometimes your executive will ask you to get a present for their child, for example, or for their spouse from somewhere else. What do? You don't even know how to start. You don't even know it.
You can't qualify it.
But if you have a support structure out there, like you talked about coordinating taxi in the middle of the night. If you call an admin who is in that country, they will have their people.
They'll be like, that's
exactly. Yeah. So admins from outside have called me to book hotels for
I've
them,
also supported
to do things.
A few people here,
to do things for them here. And I find that is a very good system.
Yeah.
It's an amazing system that if we all got on that boat, it would be much easier for assistants to...
And less stressful.
Yes, it's less stressful, really.
Yeah.
And also it gets us coordinating with each other and knowing each other. If I visit your country, I won't have a lot of trouble, navigating around because you're there, you'll help me. Because when you come to my country, I'll return the favor as well.
And don't mention that gifts. I've received so many packages. If someone is coming from their country,
exactly.
they're sending me bread for all the support. So I have little things. But also another thing that has worked for me is, we talk a lot about stakeholder management and engagement and all that. At first, I used to struggle when you're asking things of people and you've not taken time to learn them, know their dreams, their hopes. Lately, it's like a walkover because with each of now I support about 5 executives.
Nice.
But there's a personal relationship with each one of them. So it's much easier to do the work. So do you know that people you're working with, their dreams and hopes, wife's birthdays, if that's important?
Me, I have a list of them. First child, second child, the last born,
favorite dream.
You need that. You don't even have. In fact, as I speak today is for my executive's birthday.
Did you send a message?
I sent flowers, my friend. Flowers, because I know she loves it. So knowing your executive is very important. Know what she likes. Send them.
So and policy, they will return it in a way over and above.
They really, really return nicely. The other hack I have for assistants is have an assistant as well. Use Google. There are so many apps.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the apps. Which ones work best for you?
I find Google Assistant is best. And then I have Mendeley for writing, and then Grammarly for checking my grammar and all those. Yes, for emails and everything.
Have you paid for all those accounts or use the free version?
Free version. Thank you. If I told my executive I need to pay for subscription for this app, she will not understand.
My English.
Actually, I have some funds. I could pay. Grammarly.
Oh, good for you. Very good.
Because
Grammarly is free, actually.
Yeah, but no, there's an upgraded because now this is what they do for
version.
me. 3 fixes, but only for
for a certain level.
So for me, actually, the Outlook calendar as well in that mix.
Yes, Outlook calendar also works. So all of these will remind you of all the appointments that you have, so that you don't miss appointments, you don't miss important emails. You can even schedule who it is that you want to prioritize, because you receive a lot of emails.
Of course.
So they screen the emails for you. So find assistants as an assistant. Yeah. Because if you're doing these things on your own, you cannot remember everything.
No, you cannot.
And our desks are always like this.
And sync those apps across your devices.
Exactly.
So that the pop-ups come in all your devices. So in case you don't have your computer or you're driving, your phone will give you an alert or.
So my final hack. that I would also advise everyone. I'm a planner. There's no way you can get strategic things done if you're not intentional about prioritizing and deciding beforehand. So these days, weekly, I sit down with my big notebook. I love writing. What must absolutely happen?
Yes.
Because, like I told you the other day, you walk into the office, 10 people have died.
Yeah.
This has happened. Like, there's just so much going on. So you must have your list of the 10 things, very important things, and take them off during the week.
Yes.
But even if you don't, at least you know you won't miss them when you have a window. Yesterday, I finished a very important legal-ish report that had been on my case, but because I'd written it down, I knew the moment I get a breather, give it 4 hours, get it done.
Yeah.
So we need to have that.
Yeah, writing is very important. My understudy, the first thing that I taught her was writing.
Yeah.
And until now, she calls me and says, Juliet, the one thing that you taught me that has really helped me is writing. When you go into the executive's office, when she calls you for a meeting, go with your notebook.
something, yeah.
Write something down and don't keep switching notebooks. Have one.
I have 10. So I've learned that.
Have one. Because if you write this in this notebook and then write something else in a different notebook,
yeah.
you will forget.
I am the phone
Yeah, you
group.
can write in your phone.
I have a contact that just has. So I created a group with some friends, then exited them. So I am in the group alone, and it's where I take those, because there is no time I'm going to go into the office and I don't have the phone.
Yeah.
But sometimes I could leave the notebook here, or we could have gone somewhere and I have a smaller one, but the phone
what works for
will always.
what works for you?
But just
Yeah.
be able to document.
something,
Yes, be able to document. Have you had? You talked about negotiating your salary and whatnot, and actually, I think the challenge that sometimes we face is, she told you she was waiting for you to.
Yes.
The challenge we face is maybe it's a wrong time,
fear.
or it's the
I
fear.
think they'll think I'm money
It's a
minded.
money-minded.
It's yes, I'm money-minded, and especially for the ladies. I think we'll have a conversation on the ladies stepping up. But the other thing that happens, especially with ladies, is being undermined by generally other people, and so sometimes you need to let them know.
Exactly.
Could you talk a bit about that? Letting people know, like, this is my office, this is my authority, and you have to either respect that or not. How do you do that respectfully?
I call that power bombing.
Say that again.
Power bombing.
Power bombing.
Oh, wow.
I call it power bombing. You, in your office, you're the boss. Yeah? Nobody else should come and
you how to
step
do.
over you
Yeah.
in your own office.
Yeah.
Now, I appreciate my executive so much because she did the power bombing for me.
Oh.
Yes. She told me to power bomb.
She told you.
Yes. Every time somebody would come and skip me and enter into her office, she would say, no, first go back and talk to Juliet.
Oh, wow.
You get?
Wow.
First go back and talk to Juliet. Did Juliet let you in? Did you talk to her? Does she know you're here? Because anybody,
you're the security detail
exactly.
for her. Yeah.
You were the security. If anything happens to her,
They'll take
I'll
you.
be the first.
They'll
culprit.
take you properly.
First one like this. So she would, and we talked about this when I first came, because when I first entered the organization, she had a different PA before me. And this person had worked for such a long time, and everybody was used to her, and everybody was used to the boss as well. So people would come in and just say hi, and they walk in. Hi, and
This
walk in.
newbie
Yes.
from campus.
Now me, I come in with Kimbelembele spikes like this.
Are the spikes still there?
They will never go.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be there.
Mine were
Because-
chopped.
Are you serious?
Remodeled.
No, mine are still there because I kept them there.
Yeah.
They kept me going.
Yeah.
I needed them because hey, if they were clipped, I don't know where I would be. I
Married.
needed them. Ay. So I walked into my bosses because the office that I was in previously, they were still carrying forward the work that I was doing in the other office to my new office now. And I was seeing how people were behaving. People were just coming and going in, and then she would call you and ask you, why is
You're
this
not doing
person
your job.
here?
Yeah.
Why is this person here?
Especially they have their schedules, they have things to do. Yeah.
And she tells you, you have given me a schedule, you have given me, things that we have to do today, But you're letting in this person,
Yeah, like
and
I did like that.
they're wasting my time. And usually these people that just come to jazz.
Yeah.
How
are
hi,
you?
what up? Yeah, you see, the other day, yes. So she asks you, what is this person doing here? So I figured, okay.
She gave you the power.
She gave me the power.
Yes.
So I went into her office and I sat down with her. And I have had that, I think I tailor-made her for me. Yeah, I tailor-made her for me because previously she was being managed differently.
Yeah.
Now I come in and I have to assist her, and things have to be done a different way.
her,
Yes,
mold
so
her
I
differently.
molded her differently.
Yeah, we have to mold them.
Exactly. So I went into her office with my notebook and I told her there were 5 things on my mind, but most importantly was the power bombing. Because I was being passed, and that thing can hurt.
Yeah.
It calms you down, it affects your confidence, it affects your productivity.
Toning is a very, very polite way to put it.
As now we have a special door, so you can bypass me, and then you go and the door is properly locked. Then you have to come back and say, the key card. Like, no, sit down, come back at 2.
Calm down,
Go calm
relax.
down. So they learned. That door worked for me.
Oh, nice. I wish I had that. So my executive told me, you are the manager of this office. You are the boss in this office. I am your boss, but you manage this whole office. So if you let people treat you like that, it's going to stick.
Yeah.
And there is nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Yes. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So she gave me the power. She told me, yes, from the onset, because I had to understand something. So she told me, if the previous office wants to give you work, tell them to call me first.
Yes, because they're getting into my office.
They're getting into my office and they're disturbing your work, and your productivity is going to be low. I told her, I cannot work like this. The other people can't keep giving me work. What do I do? What do you advise? She told me, if they ask you to do anything, tell them to call me. That is how that one stopped. Now they walk in and just passing me. You come, she will tell you, first go and ask Juliet. Ask Juliet. There's a time somebody asked me, what do you do? What is it that you do? I was 3 years in. Now I knew my job.
Looking pretty.
Yes.
Looking pretty.
And just taking,
taking nice juice in a nice cup.
those things hurt people, by the way.
Sitting in the executive's car, going for meetings in important spaces.
I mean, having drivers take care of.
Yes.
What do you do?
What do you do?
I sat them. I told them, give me 20 minutes like this. I wrote down my work. Everything that I do, 3 pages full. I came and sat down with them. About that thing you asked, this is what I do. Study it, and then come back and talk to me if you want to.
For more
If you
details.
need any clarity at all on anything, come back to me.
We're going to benchmark on that list.
That one, it always works.
Yeah.
It always works. Just show them what you do. Tell them what you do. Because people just see us there and they think I'm seat warmers.
And I think this is, if someone needs, I think some EAs I've met also haven't quite gotten there. Yeah. Like you said, they hand you a JD, and then the tasks are totally different. I think we need to work towards also letting EAs themselves know what is okay and what's not okay. Because some people can just now keep piling things at you.
Exactly.
So I know that times I've had to just look someone in the face and say, I will not do that. Yeah, this is not part of it. And then there are things that I've grabbed with both hands. Yeah.
And that is very important, knowing where to stop.
Yeah.
Knowing what you can do, knowing where your ability stops.
And also not wanting people
not
to
just
dump
things on you.
Dump. Yes, it's dumping.
Yeah, like what I don't like to do
is what I give you to do.
Yeah. You pick strategy.
Yes. Things that will build you, things that will build you.
Strategic for the organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, even when they're dumping on you, may be strategic for the organization.
Yeah, but someone doesn't want to do it.
But someone doesn't want to do it. So they dump it on you.
No, you have to.
And they are going to be paid for it.
Exactly.
You are not.
And then you're the one dying with the work. No.
Oh, wow.
It's really not fair. So we just need to get the confidence and step out of our comfort zones and know that these executives are also human beings.
Yeah.
They understand. Yeah.
if we talk to them on a personal level, now leave executive and assistant.
No,
level.
just
talk to them as
colleague.
human beings. And that is where the relationship comes in.
Actually, the industry is now encouraging executives to look at assistant. That's your business partner.
Exactly.
So treat the person as your partner.
Yes.
It's not this.
Yeah,
those are just titles.
yes.
We are partners pushing together for this purpose.
Yeah. And if you're not there, I will chip in. And also, half the things that you're doing successfully are because
I helped you. I prepared.
I prepared the slate.
I prepared and you just went to
Yes,
present.
and you presented. So whether I wrote the PowerPoint or not, I reminded you of this appointment.
Yes.
I reminded so-and-so to attend the meeting.
And I took
prepared
care of
the
some
refreshments.
things for you.
I booked the meeting room. See, I always say that the assistant's role is to make the executive's life as easy as it possibly can be.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So I've done the small things so that you
Can
do the big
focus on
things.
the big one.
Yes. I have made your life very easy at this point. So when you are considering strategic business partners, don't forget
I
me.
should be the first.
I should be number one.
I should help you decide that.
With hotels, there are times you show up and everything is just a mess.
Yes.
Other fights you have to do.
Yes. And then
So
you
when
have-
people walk in the next day, we're very happy with the setup. Like there's just so much drama, behind. So
Well, ladies, we can talk until the cows come home.
Very true.
But we will see how to have more of these conversations later. But do share in the comment section your experience as an EA. Even executives, you can share how you support your EAs. And you could also tell us about those achievements and the big mistakes that you've made. And let's have a laugh about it, but let's also learn from each other. Thank you so much for being part of this today. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Jules. We'll leave whatever links we need, you will need in the comment section, in the description box below. And we hope to see you again next time. Have a good one.